Good day, ladies and gentlemen. So today we're going to talk about network topologies. So let me start with what is a topology. Well, topology basically just means shape. And in this case, we're talking about the shape that is formed by the way we connect devices and switches to form the LAN. For your exam, you're going to need to be able to describe each topology, and in fact, you'll be asked to draw out each topology. And you'll also need to understand the advantages and the disadvantages of each type. So we'll describe each topology and the advantages and disadvantages next. There are two main types of topologies, a bus and a star. So with a bus topology, we have a main cable that carries all the signals. Connected to the bus is a short series of connecting wires. Each has a terminator on the end, and the terminator is responsible for turning the signal around at the end of each wire. Now, devices are then connected to the end of the terminator, and when they need to send a signal, they send a signal through the connecting wire onto the main bus, and all of the other computers that are on the bus receive that signal. So the advantages of a bus are that it's simple and inexpensive to set up. To connect a device, you just add a connecting wire to the existing bus line, and there's a central cable that would run around your building or around your wall. A second advantage is that buses are resilient to the individual devices failing. So if you have a computer on the end of a terminator that suddenly stops working, because the terminator is spinning the signal around, the bus will continue to work. The disadvantages of a bus topology are that it can easily be overloaded if we have too many devices all signaling at the same time. Because they share this central cable, signals that they all send can interfere, and this is called signal collision. Now, a second disadvantage is that the whole network then becomes reliant on this bus cable. If the bus cable fails, then the whole network will fail. So our single point of failure for this topology is the bus cable. A third disadvantage is that there are security concerns if all of the users are sharing the same transmission medium. So if device A is sending out secure signals to device B, but device C is sharing that bus, then device C will also receive those secure signals. And there are times when this will produce security concerns. Okay, so that's the bus topology. Let's talk about the second type of topology, which is called the star topology. So a star topology is where each device is connected to a central switch, and all signals pass through the switch. Now, the advantages of this topology are that the network doesn't become overloaded if you have one device sending or receiving a lot of signals. A second advantage is that faults on the network are easy to identify. So if you have a broken cable between device A and the switch, it's easy to identify where that problem is because device A will suddenly stop working, whereas device B, C, and D will continue to work fine. And it's also, the third advantage is that it's also easier to establish secure connections because each device is connected directly to the switch. There's no transmission medium shared between devices. The disadvantages of a star are that it's often a higher cost because you have more cabling, because instead of a single cable running around the building, each device now has to have its own cable. A second disadvantage is that it often requires an expensive piece of hardware in the central switch. So we need a piece of hardware that's capable of marshalling the signals around the network. And the third disadvantage is that we now have a central point of failure in the switch. So if the switch fails, then the whole network will fail. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we've talked about the topologies and we've talked about the advantages and the disadvantages. As always, I hope to see you all soon. Take care.